The for loop can save us a lot of time when coding. For example, let's say I wanted to print Darth Vader is a Jedi, Rey is a Jedi, Yoda is a Jedi, etc. It would take forever. So I'm going to go into Jedi high speed to show you. And let me run this. There's got to be a better way. Well, there is. We can use the for loop as follows. So let's first define an object called Jedis. Let me just gut all this code here. Okay, let's first define an object called Jedis with the name of these 6 Jedis here as follows using square brackets. Remember, square brackets means you refer to something inside of it. So I'm going to type here Jedis equals, and I'll go in high speed mode again. So now that I have all 6 of these Jedis defined within the list here, and by the way, we know it's a list because we go here, type Jedis, and let's run the code. List. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a for loop. So let me type this in high speed mode, and then I'll explain what we just did. And let's run the code here. Oh my goodness, this is so much more efficient. All right, let's talk about how we did this. So we started with the for loop right here by typing X for Jedis. Then we wrote down here, print X is a Jedi. And the code continues to run until it's used up all 6 Jedi names in square brackets up here. Now, we didn't have to say X. We could replace X with almost anything like camera, which is the first thing I see. So camera, I'm not very creative. And let's run it again. And it still works. Okay, you can even use the for statement for a single word like this. For X in camera, I'll show you. Print X, and let's run it. It's going to go through all the letters here. Now, let's go back to our previous example. Let me hit undo a couple of times here. There we go. And let's say I want this for loop to stop running the loop after it reaches Yoda right here. So I could type this. And let's run the code now. Pretty cool, huh? So it's important to think about breakpoints like this here, just in case you run into what's called an infinite loop, which we'll cover later in more detail. Now, when we type break right here, all it does is it exits the loop and continues reading code that is outside of the loop. Now, we know that we're within the loop here because this is indented, and we know we're within this if statement because this here is indented. And don't forget to put double equals. So let's talk about another for loop example using what is called range. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to gut all of this here, play it, okay, and I'm going to type this. For X in range 1, 9, print X. All right. Now, there were 9 Star Wars episode movies, at least the ones I've seen. Now, if I run this right here, we see that we get every single number except for 1. Okay. And the reason is because it doesn't include the last number always, right? Remember, it starts counting at 0. So in this loop, it prints numbers 1 through 8. Okay, so if I put a 10 here, it's going to print 1 through 9, meaning not including the very last number.